देश के नाम पे सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो क्या किया दोस्तों, सब्सक्राइब करके जाना और वीडियो देखना आखिर तक। जय श्री राम।
Tragedy is just a tool to try and wrest power. If that is indeed the case, it's sad and it's callous, and I want to open this up. Thank you, Amir and Priyank. Stay safe. We're going to come back to you a little later. I want to go straight across and ask this question of Dr. Anand Ranganathan. What's happening, Dr. Anand Ranganathan? There seems to be a very cynical exercise of, and one has to say this, of condemnation. Why?
अभी मजा आएगा ना भिड़ो।
So, good evening, Rahul. First of all, my heartfelt condolences to the families, of the bereaved. And I have to say that that clip that you showed of the mob trying to extract a forced confession from a BJP worker that they are about to kill.
Not forever. I mean, what he, as you
Correctly put it, he could easily have said yes. He could have agreed to them. But he didn't. He told them the truth. As you said, dying confession, and it's just unbelievable. What inhuman creatures would then go on and lynch? And you talked about, Rahul, vultures and their politics and politics of cynicism. Well, I have to say this, that vultures always hover over the tower of silence. It is not the vulture's fault. It is what the vulture does. Fault is of those who have been silently watching India fall into the grip of anarchy this past year. And chief among them is the Supreme Court of India. I hope they are watching these clips now, Rahul. But, two interconnecting issues feeding off each other here, and they merit elaborating very briefly. Number one, what happened at Lakhimpur is a tragedy that was bound to happen. As you remember, Rahul, before this, two BJP legislators, one in Punjab and another in Rajasthan, have been nearly lynched by the same protesting mob. The accident that took the protesting farmers' lives and the vehicles plowed through the mob, and the subsequent brutal lynching of the driver, the journalist, and the BJP workers is criminal beyond measure. The minister denies that his son was present at the crime scene, as you say, leave alone running the protesters over. What strengthens his claim, by the way, is, and I'm talking as a layman, is the fact that there were dozens with camera phones in the mob, but not a single one filmed the minister's son. On the other hand, there are numerous videos, more than 20 of the driver and the BJP workers being lynched. Let the truth come out in the coming week. But one thing is clear, Rahul, a most devious and cynical game is being played by the politicians. And I'm afraid to say this, I'm afraid that I say this, cutting across party lines. And this brings me to the second issue, Rahul. It is not about the farm bills anymore. The bills are like the kid you were supposed to pick up from the school but forgot. The kid is squatting outside the school gate and you have switched off your mobile phone. No, it is about breaking India. And these forces are lining up to get on the soapbox. This is not the end. This is just the beginning. Repealing farm laws is not the objective. Doubtless, there are some gullible Indians who love to retort by saying, don't brand every protester a Khalistani. It is their guilt and stupidity saying this. No one in their right mind is branding every protester as a Khalistani. Sure, there are more than a handful of Khalistanis who have infiltrated these protests. So all protesters are not Khalistanis. Of course they are. Just like all farmers are not protesting. Perhaps 1%, even less than that, of the 20 crore farmers are. Then why do you keep regurgitating this lie that 200 million farmers are protesting? It is because you know in your heart of hearts that you fear a show of strength by the pro-reform farmers coming out on the streets and confronting you. Rahul, just 20 seconds. Imagine the handful of anti-farm bill protesters confronted by a pro-reform crowd the size of Kumbh Mela. That's how many farmers are silently pro these reforms. अगर वो सड़क पे आ गए तो कहीं की नहीं रहोगे तुम लोग. But one thing has to be said, Rahul. Anarchy cannot be thwarted or pushed back by reason or logic, but by applying the rule of law. And who applies the rule of law?
Yes.
Who sanctions it? Yes, the judiciary and the legislature and the executive. And what are they doing? Why is Tiket, the anarchist who has broken a dozen law, sitting next to the UP police chief? What message does it send?
I completely agree with you, Dr. Ranganathan.